Hello YouTube, it is I, Banded Wendy, on Friday, November 18th, 2011. How are you? I have had this video rambling in my head, and I just gotta get it out. And it is about beating the weekend fat girl or guy, beating the WFG. As I walk in the circle that I walk here in the weight loss surgery community world, what I have come to learn is that I have been blessed and I have been cursed by my surgery date, right? So my why on having to beat the weekend fat girl and my how is what I'm going to talk about. And I want to preface this by saying that this is about a lifestyle for me. And so it does not matter what day of the week it is, I am living a new lifestyle. And that required a lot of change in my behaviors, my behavior patterns, my thought process, the way I provide constructive criticism to myself mentally, and not negative criticism to myself mentally. And as I've walked in this circle of the community, what I found, not only for myself, but for others, is that beating that weekend fat girl is really what has shaped me for a lifetime of success on the weight loss surgery journey. I also find that, and have found, that in order to shed that last 20, 10, 5 pounds, if your weigh-in day is not Monday, like mine, the real work is going to be required, right, to get it off and keep it off and feel good about it. I've also found that the biggest struggle on the journey is the weekend, right? So I hope that this message hits home, because my why, like I said, blessed and cursed. My surgery day was March 23rd, 2009, a fantastic Monday in March 2009. My liquid diet started 1 week prior, on St. Patrick's Day, 3/17/2009, another glorious Monday. Therefore, my weekly weigh-in for the last 130 weeks, 2 years and 8 months, next week, is on a Monday. For me, before I had weight loss surgery, I was very successful at losing weight, the same 100 pounds, 3 times. And my success came, the majority of it, because I had a routine, a schedule, Monday through Friday, that was very rigid. I was comfortable with it. It was easy. And I could plan it out and stick to a plan. The weekends, which started around 5 o'clock and sometimes at lunch on Fridays, were about parties, fun, social, food, drinks, eating, being out, eating out. I had earned it. It was deserved. There were moments in life where I was lonely and food was my comfort. You know, a lot of heartache and heartbreak and relationships ending. So I felt empty at times, and food replaced that. I may have been slightly depressed because someone broke up with me for the billionth time. I was never going to find love. I was fat. I had so much weight to lose. So dealing with being single and heartbreak and getting over relationships, food made me happy. Pre-weight loss surgery. And so I knew in order for me to be successful, I needed to change my life. And weight loss surgery for me was a last chance. I paid $15,000 and I'm still paying for it to have this lap band. So this is not a shot in the dark. This is, you're going to make it work, Wendy. And when you choose to have weight loss surgery, I think it's extremely important to identify why you need to have weight loss surgery, what your obesity stems from, how you got fat, right? And where do you have to make changes? Where do you need to work on a strategy to get over the barriers and over the hurdles that had plagued your life in the past? Some of us have never lost weight. Some of us had gained, had weight loss surgery. This is a new thing, not me. I had gained and lost before I decided I needed a tool. I needed help. I needed to change my life. I needed weight loss surgery. So I had identified, in order to win at this game, I was going to have to beat that mofo weekend fat girl. And lo and behold, without even planning it, my surgery, my pre-op diet, and my weekly weigh-in is on a Monday. Blessing, curse. And then I start making YouTube videos, right? I haven't never missed a week, 130 weeks. And even though I might not make a video every Monday, I get it in before the week's over. And that's an accountability, you know? Our class of 2009 are some of the most dedicated, inspiring, motivated, gonna get it done group of people I have ever been honored to know. So even though I had made these videos for myself, I knew you were all out there supporting me, watching me, waiting to see, did she gain? Did she lose? Did she maintain? Did she do what she said she was going to do last week? And I think in my 68 weeks of losing, there were only 11 weeks I had to come onto YouTube and said I gained on a Monday. And I always knew why. That's the other thing about our class of 2009. No bullshit. It takes a lot of balls to come on here every week and say, I gained, I lost, or I maintained, and why. And I'm proud to say that class of 2009 is that group of people. Getting it done, keeping it real, being honest, and pushing. Always pushing for more. Right? So to be able to come on here and have to tell you guys I gained weight, never easy. To have to admit and be real with myself, why? Never easy. But your support and your friendships and your suggestions and your words of encouragement always made it worth it. Right? So, with that said, how have I successfully beat the weekend fat girl? I'm going to tell you. I moved. You know, I moved away from my friends, not far, 25 miles, but in Southern California, from LA County to Orange County is one big move, and from 24 miles is another big move. So I lived in a place where my friends didn't go. They never went to Orange County. They stayed in LA. That's not true anymore. I live in LA. But for the entire time, from when I had weight loss surgery until where I met my goal weight, I didn't live next to my friends. It wasn't easy to get together. So I changed my environment. All my favorite restaurants, all my favorite places to go, hang out and eat and drink, gone. My friends also started new journeys. I had friends moving away. I had friends starting new careers. I had friends having their first children. So their lifestyles were changing. Big changes were happening for them as they were happening for me. I took food out of the equation, and I took social events out of the equation and replaced them, the equation of my life equals, and I replaced them, my life equals hiking, shopping, going to farmers markets with friends. Not, let's go eat, let's go to happy hour. And that required conversations, I've had my weight loss surgery and I'm really driving towards a goal and changing my life, and part of that means I'm not going to happy hour tonight, If it's a special occasion, sure, but just because it's Friday, no. I spent a lot of time on YouTube, 1 to 5 hours a day, easily, watching, commenting. Some of my best evenings on a weekend were spent watching all of you make changes in your life. The Couch to 5K, 3 days a week when I started it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I had some place to be. I had a date with Jim and Mr. Treadmill on Friday nights. I realized that for me, I don't work Saturdays and Sundays. So there is no excuse why I would not be exercising and getting in my 210 minutes of exercise. So I started incorporating first thing in the day, number one priority, take care of me, get it out of the way, exercise, Saturday and Sunday. I stayed on my meal plan, my program, my lifestyle. I did not make any different choices for food, breakfast, lunch, dinners on the weekend just because it was the weekend. I didn't. I ate what I always ate. I kept up with my water. I always ate protein first. I always counted my calories. I would go shopping for smaller sizes. Nothing better than to go shopping and get a smaller size and keep you motivated on a Saturday afternoon going into Sunday. I would work on getting a faster run time. And if I could get a faster run time on Saturday or Sunday, that carried me through to making a better food choice. I would go grocery shopping on Fridays. It's Friday, I'm going grocery shopping after I work out today. And I would get those foods I need to have a solid weekend. I would look at recipes online, high protein, low calorie, to make for the week. I would plan out the food for my breakfast and my lunch for the week ahead. Depending on the week, I would do dinner too. I got prepared to change what I needed to change and incorporate what I needed to incorporate. And just that mindset of the planning and the shopping kept me on track. I eliminated or had little to no alcohol on the weekends. Huge change. Alcohol, empty calories, not going to get me to my goal weight. I go on long Sunday runs. I start my Sundays with 6 miles plus. I've gone from 6 all the way up to close to 18 miles. I have a running partner. We have a date. Between 7 and 7:30 a.m. every Sunday, you're going to catch us running together. You think about what you put in your mouth after you run and burn 1,000 calories. I give myself the freedom, now particularly being at goal weight too, for 70 weeks, over a year, going on a year and a half. I give myself the freedom to eat foods that I used to only eat on the weekend pre-weight loss surgery, and I ate abundance of them. Now, if I feel like having Yogurtland on a Tuesday night, I have it. Now, if my husband buys cupcakes on Monday at 4 o'clock, I eat a quarter of a cupcake. I eat a half of a cupcake. I do not deprive myself. I give myself the freedom to enjoy what I want in moderation, and I count that into my day. I'm aware of what I'm doing. I document with a picture. I document with my calories and protein for the day. It's in my total. I gave up the all or nothing mental game. It's not, I made a bad choice, I fucked up, I'll start again on Monday. No. I made a choice that wasn't that great for me. I have another choice in 3 hours, 5 hours, depending. I'll pick the right choice then. It's okay. I'm not derailed. I think about it as one choice at a time. I stand on the scale. I'm a daily weigher. So I know how much I weigh Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's not a shock when I stand on that scale on Monday. Events happen on the weekend. Last weekend we went out for Grenland Be Gone's 1-year anniversary at P.F. Chang's. I have not eaten at P.F. Chang's since having weight loss surgery. 2.8 years. I read the menu. I picked the food with the lowest calorie, highest protein. That's what I ordered. I was prepared to eat at the restaurant before I got there. I do limit my eating out. That's when I used to eat out the most pre-weight loss surgery was on the weekends. I limit that. I meet up with at least one, if not more, of my fellow weight loss surgery people every weekend. We do food-related things, we do non-food-related things. But they keep me motivated. They keep me on track. We talk about these struggles. We walk through these struggles together. We finish 10 miles together and say, damn, that was hard, you know? What are you doing for the week ahead? How's your weekend been? And I've made a weekend fat girl video laying in a bed 2 years ago, you know, saying it's Friday night or Saturday night and I'm struggling, you know. I make videos like this to help others and to help myself. I document the struggle. I document the success. So I've taken enough of your time. You can beat the weekend fat girl. And that is what I think is important in the game of changing your life after weight loss surgery. I still dance with that devil. I still have a good time. And I've had Mondays where I maintained or I gained, but I always knew why. And being so strict and rigid Monday through Friday is what got me fat. So I try to have balance and create a lifestyle so it does not feel like I'm on a diet. It does not feel like I'm depriving myself. It does not feel like I'm restricting myself from something. And do it 7 days a week. So the weekends aren't a big, oh my God, you know? I don't feel like I'm on a diet. I don't feel like it's that hard anymore. I had to work through it. So anyway, I really believe that changing your weigh-in date to a Monday is a way better weigh-in date than a Tuesday or a Friday, because by Friday, you've been on plan. You feel good about the scale on Friday because everyone can be successful Monday through Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you have recovery time from the weekend. Blessing and a curse, Monday weigh-in. If the weekend fat girl is something that you know is a problem for you in life, and if you take your weight loss surgery serious and you want to change your life, face the weekend fat girl. You're going to cry. You're going to be emotional. You're going to have those mental conversations with yourself over and over and over again and out loud. You're going to have to stop and think about every choice that you're putting in your mouth. You really are. But I'm here to tell you, below my goal weight, in maintenance 70 weeks, 2.8 years post-op, and I'm okay with beating the weekend fat girl. 90% of the time. I'm not perfect, you know? So anyway, hope you have a great weekend. And if you want to talk about beating the weekend fat girl and how you do it, what's been successful for you, suggestions to others, or what you struggle with, Make us a video. Let's talk about it. It's the weekend. Are you beating the weekend, fat girl? No WFG for me. Nope. Take care. Thanks for watching.